Since we have two arrays, let's add radio buttons to choose which array we want to display. So in layout, let me give a radio group below the button and snap it to under the button, to the right, to the left, make it a little bit bigger. Then let me add one button, another button, and then if you remember, I need to edit the radio group for orientation horizontal. Then they are placed side by side. And then for this radio button, let me give ID double radio button, then label resource definition, label double is there. So as you remember, string resources is automatically updated for that. Then another radio button. Let me give ID string radio, then actual string value is a label string, then string is assigned for that. So now let's go back to the program part. So here, depending on which array is selected, we want to display the content. So here the common thing is that except for the name of the array, the rest of the codes will be the same. So one quick idea is that let's have a variable as a name of the array, and like something like this one. And then here let's assign a double array or string array depending on which radio button is selected. But this idea, we need to understand that what type is for the given array. What I mean by that is if I define variable a of array double type, then in A I can store double array, no problem. But in A I cannot store string array. It's a type mismatching because type of arrays are not simply defined as it's determined by its array, but it's an array and the type of the element. So array double and array string are different types. So we cannot have a variable something like this. So which array, the variable which array, we cannot specify type right away. If so, which has a conflict, we cannot assign sometimes double array, sometimes string array. But in Kotlin has a type inference mechanism, which means that the type of the variable val or variable or value could be determined at runtime. So here just do not specify type and then type, let's let the type be decided at runtime. So if double radio button is checked, then double array is stored there, and then else string array is assigned there. In if and else mechanism like this, we assume one of the radio buttons is always selected. To do so, in this initial radio button, we could have it checked, means that that's the default value. So in the previous examples, I did not give any default value. So in the program, I should have checked whether one of the button has been selected or not. Otherwise, it's error. But by choosing a default button, we could simply now use if and else step. Then the rest of the code is the same, but one problem is the value. In double array, we have a set in strings definition that a floating point number is there. Now let's change it to string. Then in the program, let's change it to string. ToString is available for any type. So it's a double type, int type, string type. It does not really matter then. Let's just convert it to string and display that. then everything looks fine. Then one final thing is depending on array type or name, I want to give a different header message. So in header definition, let's give it was like this one, contents of the array, but now let's give a varying information, and let's give a string there, so contents of a certain name of the array. So we could do that way. Then what I can do here is that val array name is if id double radio is checked, then id double radio text to string. So the label of the radio button we could use as a name of the array, and then else id string radio text to string is there. Then in this I can give a array name like that. So now let's test the program. So default the radio, double radio is selected. So then the contents of the double array is displayed, the string. Now the contents of a string array is displayed.